everybody, how's it going today? Ian back here with you, Entertainment Examiner. Hey, I'm doing a movie review for you guys today. I'm doing a review of Wonder Woman. This is the latest film in the DC cinematic universe, which hasn't been faring very well. I was less than pleased with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice last year. It just didn't do anything for me, but we have an origin story of a character that was introduced just briefly in that film, and that is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is directed by Patty Jenkins, who directed the terrific 2003 film Monsters, starring an unrecognizable Charlize Theron. In this movie, we have Gal Gadot playing Diana Prince, a young girl who is being raised on an island of warrior women, headed by Robin Wright's character, General Antiope. She becomes a warrior from a young age and becomes pretty much the greatest of all of them. And one day, a plane crashes into the water, and she goes out to save a man who turns out to be Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine. Chris Pine's really, really good in this movie. I think that Chris Pine is really good in everything he's in, from Captain Kirk from Star Trek to the great crime drama Hell or High Water. We see Steve and Wonder Woman, soon to be called. He doesn't know where he is, and she decides, after a terrible occurrence happens where the Germans find Steve because he's a spy and invades, Steve takes Diana to World War I era London. And it's kind of the back and forth. He doesn't know where he is, and she doesn't know where she is now. And it's really interesting, kind of turning of the tables, if you will. From there, we meet a mad scientist who is trying to distribute a different kind of poison, and ultimately she's going to find Ares, a god that has escaped and that she is determined to kill. I enjoyed Gal Gadot's appearance in Batman vs. Superman, and I enjoyed her even more here in her own origin film. I think she's perfectly cast. She has the great look for Wonder Woman, and her and Chris Pine together have some fantastic scenes. I like the fact that there's some humor, and there's, of course, a lot of action, but also with the origin story, you get a romantic portion of the movie, which is why I think it's being so highly praised, because you don't get many human characters in these superhero films. You kind of introduce them and have some battles and a main villain, and then your end credits are rolling. But here it was nice to kind of dive deep, and I think a director like Patty Jenkins, who has directed such good films, it really owes it to her and her eye for storytelling that she's able to get Gadot and Pine together in these scenes and make them seem as realistic as possible. The movie is the best in the DC cinematic universe, that's for sure, and I definitely think it's one that you could watch again if you wanted to down the road. The one quibble I had was the special effects. Actually, the movie is so grounded in reality that it's easy to forget that it's a superhero movie. But we do, because of her scenes with her wrists defending against the bullets flying, or the lasso of truth that is so popular in Wonder Woman lore. That by the end, when she does meet the villain, that it's almost like how every other superhero movie must end anymore. And it's too bad. It's because it's so much set in World War I that we get a history lesson, encompassed in a superhero movie. And that's really fun. I can't remember many, besides maybe Captain America, doing that, and that didn't even do it as well as Wonder Woman does. But it's still, everything has to be huge and grandiose at the end of one of these movies, and I don't think it has to. I think that Wonder Woman was set enough in reality, in its own reality, that it could have just had almost a shootout action sequence if you want to. I think a little bit less of that would be great, which I'm sure they're going to do a sequel. It's making big money, big crowds, and it's a great movie. So I think a little bit less of that, and more of the kind of meat and potato stuff that makes the movie great, like the romance, like the little bits of humor, like his team that they work with. They got a kind of a great group of guys in him, and I think I liked all of their characters, and even a little bit more of that would have been really neat. So, yeah, I definitely recommend Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot and Chris Pine's characters are terrific. They're great actors. The movie is fun to watch. It's a little long, almost 2.5 hours, but it goes by pretty fast. I found myself looking at my watch a couple times, just because there were some sequences that just didn't connect with me as much as they did. But I give Wonder Woman a B+, a really solid 3, almost 3.5 out of 4, but I'm going to stick with a 3 just because of the flaws I mentioned in it. So, go out and see Wonder Woman. It is in theaters now, PG-13, the latest in the DC cinematic universe. I'm not sure what the next movie in that series is going to be. I'm going to have to check on that. But thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment and let me know what you thought. I'd love to know your comments on Wonder Woman. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.